Welcome to That Don't Sound Right. That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you couldn't prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
And I'm Cecil. And we hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, "That don't sound right," leave us a comment. You're one of us. Enjoy the show. Hey, welcome to That Don't Sound Right. I'm Cecil. This part of the podcast is usually where I have a little introduction, usually with one of my daughters. But tonight we have several changes, so I was going to take this time to introduce those. First of all, we are now on Apple Podcasts, so we're easier to find. That was at the request of several listeners, so we are now live on Apple Podcasts. If you find us there, please follow us or like us. That'll help others to find us. We also have merchandise available now. We've got t-shirts and mugs. So we'll leave the links for those in the show notes tonight and also on the website. And then also we really appreciate everybody that's been listening. We've had good listenership, but we're going to set our first goal of 50 listeners by the end of February. So if you are listening, thank you, but also encourage someone to listen and help us get to that goal by the end of February. Again, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's podcast. Hey, welcome back to That Don't Sound Right. This is Cecil Davis.
Hey, this is Peter Billman.
So, after our origin story, and our first episode was on my car being stolen. So this is actually a companion episode.
Well, yeah, because this car of his ended up being like a Seinfeld episode for a bad smell inside of a car.
So the cop actually said it was a marijuana smell, but it wasn't. It was a straight cigarette smell.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah, neither do I.
Wait a minute.
I've been to Merle Fest.
That don't sound right.
I spent a lot of time at Merle Fest. So it was. I do know cigarettes.
Sure.
It was cigarettes. And they had smoked in it what seemed to be 24 hours a day.
Well, live in the town of Winston-Salem, so
yes.
There'll be some cigarettes around.
So the new problem was how to get the smell out.
Right. How do you get the smell out? Because, my house I live in today, the previous owners, I'm pretty sure were smokers. And every once in a while, like if we haven't been in the house for a while, like away for a week, you come inside and you just get that little whiff.
You just catch it.
Or maybe a closet. We'll open up a closet door and you'll get a boom.
Yeah.
Whoa, what was that?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah. So how do you, what is that?
Well, surprisingly, lots of people had ideas about how to get smoke smell out of a car.
Sure.
So the baking soda.
Okay.
Dishes of baking soda. Spraying the upholstery with vinegar.
Okay.
Then, of course, steam cleaning.
Sure. And used car dealers have to do this all the time.
Yes.
So there's got to be a surefire way to do it because it goes everywhere. It's not just the upholstery. It's in the duct system.
Yes.
It's in the heat exchangers for the heaters and the air conditioners.
So I changed the cabin filter, which helped.
Okay.
But still, heavy smoke smell. So
right.
So like you said, the thing that was recommended to me was ozone treatment.
Ozone.
Yeah.
So that got to the question is what exactly is ozone, right? So ozone is a pollutant that is basically the cause of low-level smog.
Yes.
But what is ozone?
So using all my chemistry background, of which I have,
which
I almost have a minor or a major.
I was going to say you should have a lot more than me.
Right. I very definitely said that ozone was O2.
O2. That don't sound right.
Right. And you
for what did I say?
You said ozone was O3.
O3.
Yeah.
Because it can't be just O.
No.
So it's O3.
Right.
And it turns out it is O3.
It is O3. And they will pump O3, which is not necessarily a poisonous gas, but it's not like it can hurt you.
Well, it displaces oxygen, right? So,
yes.
It's not the oxygen our body processes.
No. Which would be O2.
O2 preferably.
Which is not ozone.
And not CO.
Right. Or H2O.
Or H2O. Or CO2.
It's O3.
O3. So how do you make O3?
But I don't know. I'm sure it's, I don't know.
Well, how did you make O3?
For my car?
Yeah.
I never did it. But they have a machine that'll do it.
Okay, so how do people make O3?
Yeah, there's a machine. I'm sure they're using electric current to split. I don't know. Would you split it off of water? You have to have the extra oxygen.
Unless you can take the two O2s. Actually, you take 3 O2s and you get 2 O3s out of it.
With an electric current.
Have you seen this machine?
No. Yes.
Okay, what does it look like?
It looks like just a small box.
Do you plug it in?
Yes.
And do you have to add any chemicals to it?
I don't remember.
Ah.
Yeah. So they'll pump your car full of O3 or ozone.
Okay.
And then you got to let it air out for many hours.
Oh.
Because you can't get back into the car with ozone in the car, or you can poison yourself.
I assume that you put this ozone in, you have the car running, you're circulating the ozone around.
You pump it in, you got it circulating through all your vents.
Why don't we use ozone generators more often to get rid of offensive odors?
Hell, unless they're just that dangerous. Like, I didn't do it. To me, it seemed too dangerous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're not going to be in the car.
No.
So why didn't you just do it?
I didn't.
Did you have access to an ozone generator?
I did.
Ah.
I mean, I was going to have it done professionally.
Okay, all right.
And they were saying, well, you have to do it early in the morning so it can air out for the rest of the day.
Okay, all right.
I just didn't feel comfortable getting back in my car, rolling all the windows up, and driving home knowing there'd been ozone in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are the health risks to ozone?
I don't remember. I don't know. I would assume it. I guess it, like you said, displaces oxygen.
Right.
So
I guess my question would be, if used car dealerships and probably rental car companies do it, I would think they've got a pretty good system for making it safe.
You think?
I think so.
You trust them?
Because you get I've never gotten ozone poisoning from driving a rental car.
You don't think you have. We don't know what the symptoms are. You could have. Yeah, so I didn't do it.
So this gets into a good discussion. So normally at this point in time, you'd break out your smartphone,
right,
and you'd look up ozone poisoning, or you look up ozone. How long do you have to, or how does an ozone generator work?
Right.
But right now, what the audience is experiencing is just you and me trying to hash this out and trying to figure this out.
Yeah, trying to figure out how it works.
Time will tell if our 11 listeners will stick around to listen to us. Oh, it's up to 12.
It's 12.
12 listeners will stick this out to see if we eventually figure it out. And we might have to come back later and have some answers.
Actually, I think that I wonder if you, like you said, if you took 3 molecules of oxygen, you get 2 molecules of O3. That actually makes most sense.
Well, yeah, I will say that when we are in the automotive industry, when we are cleaning the exhaust, one of the things that a catalytic converter does is do just that. And it uses the rare metals. They serve as the catalyst, so these reactions can occur.
Yep.
But they occur in such a way that it doesn't consume the catalytic converter. So I'm guessing that these ozone generators are in fact a kind of catalytic converter that take heat, maybe some electricity, and process the O2 into O3 in such a way that the box just sits there and just does its thing.
Yeah, and then it just pumps it into your car.
Right.
Just a steady stream of death.
Did you ever look to see how much such a generator would cost? I'd be curious.
I looked on Amazon.
Okay, how much about?
But I forget
ballpark?
what it was. Yeah,
like hundreds or thousands?
I forget. It was going to be. He was going to charge me, I think, $60 to do it.
Oh, okay. So this machine probably isn't that expensive.
Right. Yeah, it was going to be like $60 for a treatment.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said it would eliminate that. It actually will eliminate everything in your car, any living organism.
Okay. So
anything.
Again,
yeah,
it's displacing the oxygen.
Yeah.
It might be even it's probably even poisonous to anything that needs oxygen.
Yeah, so any odor or anything. So I didn't do that, but I did do a renews it bomb.
Yeah.
Which is essentially does a similar thing because you set the bomb off in your car and it run and your car's running and so it's circulating that
And you were okay getting into your car after
I left it open for a long time. I don't want to breathe anything.
Well, I guess it's cheaper than the ozone treatment, but
yes,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine it was any safer.
No, it may actually have been less so. So actually, I ended up getting the smell out by just leaving the car open.
Okay.
Every sunny day there was, I would leave the car open.
Just baked it out.
Yeah, and a lot of Febreze.
What happens when you turn the air on?
Now it's like your house.
Okay, you get a whiff of it.
You get a whiff of it.
All right.
Like,
yeah, the minivan that we have, pretty sure a smoker had prior to us. I bought it from a dealership. When you get into the car, you don't smell it.
Yeah.
But lately, when you first turn on the air or the heater, you just get that small whiff.
Yeah.
And it's still there. So I imagine the ozone generator is a pretty popular way of removing those smells.
Absolutely.
But I just haven't heard of that being used anywhere else. I mean, I would think if you have a smelly house or you have some smelly clothes, just stick it in an ozone generator and just unstink it that way.
Yeah. I almost think I've seen a detergent that has ozone, but now it's like the power of Oxy. That's what I'm thinking about. That's probably not actually ozone. All right. Well, I think we've thoroughly discussed the ozone generator.
Well, we might have to come back and revisit this with a little more facts, but maybe not. Maybe our listeners will
they'll write in.
If you want to write in and comment, and we're starting to take some fan mail, so we'll get an address set up so you can send in fan mail
or send in topics or just stuff you want us to sit here and talk about.
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
All right. This has been That Don't Sound Right with Cecil
and Peter Billman.
Thank y'all.